Okay, all my scions are waxed. So up here you see the wax coating. This I've left to give myself room for cuts. We're going to match up calipers, diameter on seedling and scion. This one will work. Now, I want to explain also, as I said, these are going on, well, they're 2 days short of 5 weeks. And I haven't seen any bud break. I do see a little bit of separating of the scales on that bud, but here's a white root tip. A white root tip is a surefire sign that this is ready to go. And this is just slightly moist, this root system. When I got them, they were just damping wet, and I mean just soaked. And I had them in a trash bucket with a bag around everything, except I kept the top open. I had them in groups of 5, I guess. I have 15 of these. And all that moisture went up into the air. I had these on a heat mat for, I'd say, about 4.5 weeks. And then I moved them to perlite, which I showed in the opening video. And I'm using perlite because I don't have any sawdust. I happen to have a lot of perlite. And what's important when grafting, whether you're grafting deciduous or conifers, is that this is not really damp. If you have a lot of water in your root system, it's going to flow the sap real fast. It's going to run this sap up here. And when you make a graft, all this running real fast will push the graft away. It'll just push it right away, right off of there. So you got to have these just damp. But I mean, this is almost close to feather light. But I feel moisture everywhere in this plug. So let's get started. We're doing wedge grafts. That's what this tool is made for. And we're going to make the V always on the seedling. And then we're going to make an angled cut on the scion that's going to go right into the V. I'll give you a hint here. You put this and you rest it up in the blade area. Once you find your spot, you'll want to make your cut. And then you center it. And then you finish it. When you rest it up in this blade, it's going to give you an equal distance level up here. And there's another thing I want to tell you. This is always going to have one clean side to it, and the other side is not perfect. There's a little bark hanging over the side. We call this the ragged or jagged side. The same thing's going to happen when I cut on this scion. And when we match these up, we're going to match the clean side to the clean side. And we're going to cover up our wounds. And I'm going to use budding tape. I'm not going to use electrical tape. I am much better with budding tape. You use what you're best. You use what you're best at using. And I just cannot wrap with electrical tape. It's not comfortable to me. So this time the scion is on the other side of the tool. So we're going to make our angled cut into the scion that's going to fit into the rootstock. And this is a perfect cut. find the clean side. And this is the clean side on the Scion. The bark extends all the way to the tip. This side, some of the bark was knocked off. It does not go all the way to the tip. So this will fit in there actually real nicely. Then you're going to check that your wounds are covered. And mine are. This couldn't be more ideal for oaks, nut trees, things that have lower percentage takes when you use a knife. That's why this tool is worth it. And as you come across one side that's cut and the other side that's cut, you're going to give it a little bit of strength. You're going to tug it around. That went around. And now I've covered the whole wounded area. And I'm going to tie my band off. I happen to use a slip knot. I don't need all this rubber band, it's just going to get in the way. Break some of it off. Now we're going to finish this job with parafilm tape. So this was all waxed with paraffin wax. Now we're going to use parafilm tape. Get a piece, give it a little stretch, get it started. And this stuff sticks to itself wonderfully. So this is going to hold in the moisture on our seedling. So everything is going to be moisture protected until things start to commence growth. And I am 100% happy with this graft. That happens to be a witch's broom oak. I suppose I'll do one more for those of you that don't want to back up the video and watch again. And I'm going to first say something else though. This tool it has to be calibrated. These are hex fixtures, and then you can spin them off. And once these are loose, this whole bar wiggles. And it's the same over here for this anvil piece, called an anvil. And then these 4 screws that hold the 2 blades on here, these are wobbly too. And you get these points together and you carefully calibrate everything so that the spacing is proper between the blades and all the other pieces, these other 2 pieces. And then you go out into your yard, you know, get some wood, do some practice cuts, and you'll be on your way. I'll get another Scion. And this one's about 3 millimeters. I mean, this is a pretty skinny one. So I'll hopefully be able to get the skinniest rootstock I have. Probably this one. This will be of good use. My wax ran a little bit, but everything's still covered nicely. I'll let the wax temperature drop a little more than I was supposed to, but it's all good to go. You should start dipping the wax at 160 degrees. So again, I know my caliper. You're going to you're going to make sure that you see two spots that are the same caliper, which I do. And I'm going to snug this up into this blade, into the V behind it. And then I'm going to line up the front. I can eyeball it. And I'm going to cut. Again, it's absolutely ideal. Our wounded areas are completely covered. I'm going to roll my thumb back to hold the bud strip. You can use rubber bands if you want. Get started. And here's that cut on one side, so I'll give a little more pressure as I go around. And here's a cut on the other side. I'll give a little more pressure as I go around. I'll just get that on there nice and snug so that we know there's no gaps, that everything is snug in place, that the scion is snug up against the two flaps that are the wedge. Tie my knot. Again, I feel 100% confident. It's a perfect match. So when I finish this, it'll be the end of the video. This will be a two-part video. The first one that explained how to wax the scions. And I'll call this another video on grafting. Well, I've made a bunch of them. There you have it. Best of luck, guys.